Georgia, Auburn. A century-old fight that still hits like the first punch. In 2010, man, I had myself a day.
No place for touchdown, Newton! Is there anything else he can do?
You don't forget playing games like that.
Give me some!
This is a rivalry so storied, we've seen everything. We've seen dogs roll in with the chest out.
Oh my goodness. Touchdown, Georgia! Oh my goodness.
We've seen Jordan there shake like an earthquake.
A miracle in Jordan hair!
We've seen the Georgia Bulldog try to bite one of ours. Even the mascots know what's at stake.
Are we who we say we are? You owe them something!
Another chapter in Deep South's oldest rivalry. Georgia, Auburn. War Eagle.
You're watching the SEC on ABC. And welcome everyone to ABC Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. On a gorgeous night in the loveliest village on the plains, a sellout crowd of more than 88,000's on hand here at Jordan-Hare Stadium for the 130th meeting all time between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Auburn Tigers. It's a rivalry that dates back to 1892. In all of FBS football, only Minnesota and Wisconsin have played each other more often. All right, Molly, thank you. They've been dealing with injuries to that offensive line throughout the season. They've had 5 different starting line combinations through the first 5 games, and tonight will be the 6th. But they'll wait as Georgia won the toss and deferred, so Auburn elected to receive the opening kickoff. Hugh Freeze will get that struggling offense out there, led by Jackson Arnold. Peyton Woodring will kick off. Rayshawn Pleasant, dangerous return man back deep's already brought one back for a score this year. In that opener at Baylor, no chance to bring that one back. Jeremiah Cobb, the running back. They hand it off on a jet sweep to Eric Singleton. And a nifty play to start the game, 15 yards.
And most of the time it's because they've been in 3rd and long, so these 3rd and shorts have been few and far between.
Yeah, the average in those 2 games to go is 11.2 yards. Brandon Frazier, the tight end, to the Georgia 45 and a first down. Another tackle made by the safety, Kyron Jones. A career high 5 catches last week in the loss at A&M. Play action pass. Cam Coleman was stumbling a bit as he came out of his route, still made the catch. Very near another first down. 2nd and less than a yard. Ken Williamson is the referee tonight. And they're going to take it to the replay booth, and Hugh Freeze understandably frustrated. They have a little rhythm going on offense.
Right there. Does he ever see the nose of that ball touch the ground?
Here comes the verdict from Ken Williamson.
After further review, the pass has been ruled incomplete.
Stopped a little momentum here for Auburn and certainly diminished the crowd noise. Already better, already more 3rd down conversions than last week.
And probably 4-down territory here, knowing that Alex McPherson's distance from the field goal is not great.
Over the middle and spinning for a first down is Perry Thompson. Chris Cole made the tackle. They got 11. They have another 3rd down conversion. That 0 for 13 on 3rd down last week was the first time they went 0 for in a game on 3rd down since 2006. And 0 for 7 against Georgia. Short pass, and Singleton goes out of bounds at the 29, shoved out by Dalen Everett. Tennessee, Alabama, even Kentucky last week had success throwing the ball in the first half. Turning the corner, Jeremiah Cobb. He's out of bounds a yard shy of the first down against Glenn Schumann's defense. He's the defensive coordinator, 35 years old, with a lot of input, obviously, from Kirby Smart. There are the numbers we're talking about. Joey Aguilar, Tennessee, hit his first 14 passes. They went up and down the field early. Alabama converted its first 8 third downs in its win 2 weeks ago between the hedges. Third and 1. All of a sudden they can't be stopped on third down. Jeremiah Cobb, the ball carrier, C.J. Allen, the tackle. And as Hugh Freeze says, it's a big difference when it's third and short instead of third and 11 all the time. Arnold 6'1", 219. They have 3 tight ends on the field. It is Arnold again. He lunges ahead for the first down.
Outstanding drive so far for Hugh Freeze. Mixing up the looks. Getting all of his big playmakers started. Singleton's got a target. Simmons have a touch. Coleman's got a target as well. Got both backs involved and Jackson Arnold's legs as well. Just a dream start for the Tigers so far.
The runner was down beyond the line to gain. The previous play is under review.
Crowd doesn't like it again. Hugh Freeze really doesn't like it. That offense has rhythm. I mean, it looked pretty clear, like a first down. Now maybe his knee touched down in that sea of bodies, and we couldn't see it.
After further review, the ruling on the field has been upheld. It's first down.
Gunnar Stockton still waiting for his turn. This is a 7-minute long drive, and Auburn about to run its 14th play. Arnold 5 out of 6 for 27 yards passing, but lately they've had designed quarterback runs. Successfully so. Fake to Cobb to the end zone. Coleman, and it's broken up. There is a flag down. Dalen Everett had the coverage.
Defense number 6.
Pretty clear as Coleman was trying to get beyond Everett. You see the grab of the jersey. Coleman turns all the way inside, and the side judge was all over it. Got to let go as the receiver makes that first move. A good call.
So the ball's on the 2. Will it be Arnold running again? This time he keeps it and scores. What a drive for the Auburn Tigers to start this game. Rushing touchdown of the season. This is their 6th game of the year. Give Hugh Freeze credit. Spent a lot of time delving into that offense. Made some changes. That was a very well called and well executed drive. 14 plays, 75 yards, 7:17 off the clock. Alex McPherson's extra point makes it 7-0.
Dream start for the Auburn Tigers, mixing run pass and finding pay dirt early to get out to a big lead, 7-0 on the Plains.
Frazier and Bowens are powerful backs. We might see Dwight Phillips Jr., who has a better chance to take it a long distance. Quick slant and a catch made by Branch for a 7-yard gain, and they have the first down. His team leading 19th catch of the year. Here comes a blitz. Stockton got it off. Nate Frazier, another first down. It's a very good Auburn defense. They played defense well enough to be undefeated, to have won both of those SEC games on the road.
It's an aggressive group, too. They're going to bring blitzes. They're going to bring pressures. And Gunnar Stockton's going to have to understand where those unblocked guys are coming from. He's going to take a lot of hits tonight. Tough young man.
Chauncey Bowens in at running back now. Oscar Delp, the tight end, went in motion and blasted his Stockton back at the 36. Robert Woodyard leveled him, and Stockton did very well to hang on to the ball.
And I don't know what Bowens is doing. Look at this. I mean, his vision's over here. He doesn't keep track of the guy that he's responsible for in protection. He's out the gate to the right. He completely forgets he's got to block. Help your quarterback. Stockton thinks he's protecting, gets nailed.
Woodyard laid the lumber on Stockton. Here's a quick pass to Branch, and he's stacked up, led by Xavier Atkins, sophomore from Houston. First year here, he was a big player on the LSU defense last season. He's been a star here, the leading tackler on one of the best defenses in the country. The veteran Cash Jones, third down specialist in at running back. He's trying to communicate with the offensive line. Keldrick Falk put the pressure on. Stockton got it off, incomplete. Kayan Lee was in the way. There's a very late flag thrown by the back judge. Offensive pass interference is his preliminary signal, and Hugh Freeze will turn that down. So a great start for DJ Durkin's defense. Here, who'll take home the trophy. Cam Newton here tonight to have his number 2 jersey retired at halftime. National champion, Heisman Trophy winner. He'll be the 4th Auburn Tiger to have his number retired. Joining Pat Sullivan, Bo Jackson, and Terry Beasley. 7-0 Auburn on offense for the second time. And another good gain on first down. Jeremiah Cobb ripped through the defense for 9. Not the same depth on defense, particularly up front. And it's been a secondary that hasn't played up to the usual standard. There's a flag. DeMello Jones is going to be called for pass interference on Eric Singleton.
Pass interference. Defense number 15.
Jones part of a rotation at cornerback for Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann.
And the correct call, because Jones never turns around and tries to play the ball, initiates that contact, and that's a good job there by Jackson Arnold. When he missed throws against Oklahoma that could have won them the game, he overthrew the receiver, never gave him a chance. Just give him a chance on the underthrow, you might get a DPI, or guy goes up and makes a play.
Malcolm Simmons off the jet sweep to the Georgia 39-yard line. 14 yards and another Tigers first down. Sometimes when you haven't thrown any interceptions, that isn't necessarily a good thing. Perhaps you're hanging on the ball too much, being too cautious. Jeremiah Cobb, first down, turn the corner. They're going to mark him out at the 25-yard line. They're 5 for 5 on third down. Molly.
Well, Sean, Hugh Freeze gave an impassioned speech to his team this week about playing with more swagger and confidence, believing that they can win games like this. And on the sideline, you can feel that. Players telling each other, hey, Georgia got punched in the mouth, and telling each other we need to keep striking while the Bulldogs are on their heels. So we'll see if they can do that by scoring again on this drive.
One thing Georgia's done an amazing job of, though, against Tennessee, it was on display. They might get punched, but I can promise you they're going to be punching back.
It looked like they might get run out of the building, passed out of the building in Knoxville. Here's Cobb, again turning the corner, another flag thrown. Justin Williams knocked Cobb out of bounds, but a flag thrown. And it's going to be a holding call.
Offense number 1. 10-yard penalty. Follow the foul. Big first down.
Wiped out a 12-yard gain.
And that's been a big problem, especially against Texas A&M, have been the penalties. The last 2 weeks, Auburn's offense has 15 penalties on the offensive side. It gets them off schedule. It gets them behind the sticks. That's 7.5 per game. It's the second worst in all of college football in a 2-game span. So they have to be more disciplined when they're blocking, when they're lining up, and when they're utilizing cadence, because they've jumped off sides a bunch as well.
Yeah, it's been a symphony of false starts in those noisy venues in Norman and College Station, and right on cue, Xavier Chaplin, who's been the biggest offender.
False start, offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
You see Jackson Arnold, he's going to clap. And that's exactly when he goes, clearly on 2. And Hugh Freeze says he's got to be able to manipulate the snap count. And Chaplin has had so many penalties over the last few weeks. That's now 6 in the last 3 games.
6 false starts and 1 holding penalty. Very highly touted player, transfer from Virginia Tech. He was considered to be one of the best linemen in the transfer portal. It gets dumped off to Preston Howard, and the tight end has a first down. Another excellent call by Hugh Freeze, and very well executed by the Tigers for 18 yards. The 3rd catch of the season for Howard, a transfer from Maryland. Play action pass. Coleman. Good tackle to take him across the sideline near the 7 by DeMello Jones. On the last play of a first quarter, dominated by the Auburn Tigers. They had the ball for 11 minutes, 34 seconds. 23 plays to 6. And on the scoreboard, 7-0. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. What do you think Hugh Freeze does here?
I think you just keep it on the ground. This offensive line has answered the challenge, and they have been moving a big physical Georgia defensive line all throughout that first 15 minutes. Mari Alston's the running back. They tried to fool Georgia. His carry. They weren't fooled. Nice play by Quintavious Johnson. They can get another first down at the 4-yard line. Alston. He got flattened as he tried to turn the corner. DeMello Jones up from the corner. C.J. Allen, their outstanding linebacker, their leading tackler, veteran for coaches Schumann and Smart. Here comes the field goal team. First time they did not convert on 3rd down tonight. So there's Alex McPherson, still coming back from the serious health battles he had for the last year plus. Ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, had his large intestine removed, and that one is just barely good from 25 yards. He's now made all 20 of his field goals in his career inside of 40. That one didn't have much room to spare. But great to see him back. Obviously, he's still trying to gain the weight back. At one point he was down to 105 pounds. That leg getting stronger and stronger with the rest of his body. Bowens again. Sylvester Smith plays the star position in their secondary. Stop that for no gain. They rush 4. Stockton slings one, incomplete. Trying to get it to Dylan Bell at the 40. Kay and Lee had the coverage. It's a Georgia 3-and-out. Really well defended there by Kay and Lee. This is a secondary that a few weeks ago people were asking questions. What's going on with the secondary? Gave up 1 million yards to South Alabama, but they've responded in the back end, and now the secondary is starting to play as well as the front 7.
Jackson Arnold and Auburn moved the ball nicely on 2 drives. Now a deep shot for Cam Coleman, and it's broken up by Ellis Robinson. Kind of had a feeling with the success they've had running the ball and in the short passing game, they might take a shot here sooner or later.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. Those safeties going to start to get nosy, which means these corners for Georgia are going to have to step up, and that's a great job there by Robinson, playing the ball and somehow finding a way to rip it away from the strong hands of Cam Coleman.
At Tennessee for Oklahoma. He hasn't thrown an interception in a year, more than a year. He got hit as he throws, and that streak was almost ended by the announcer jinx and by C.J. Allen, who had his hands on it and couldn't pick it off. Bobo's teams have won 3 out of 5, including last year between the hedges. Elijah Mendez, a true freshman, took down Stockton. The Dogs are 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Stockton is escaping back at the 35. Got away from Keldrick Falk. Well, they still got him down. Elijah Mendez. But how did Stockton get away from the first hit from Falk?
Yeah, and that's Falk working against the backup right tackle, Bo Hewley, who just gets beat right inside, and miraculously Stockton's able to stay on his feet. But another big stop for the Auburn defense. Auburn goes to the line with tempo, so they can't make that substitution.
And they convert. Ryan G. Another catch by a tight end. That one for a first down. Another new wrinkle. Much more usage of the tight ends. Howard has a couple of catches. Frazier has one. Now G has one. To the sideline. Coleman. First down, just shy of midfield. 12 yards on that play. They have a charity golf tournament together, an annual event that'll be contested here on Monday. Here's Jackson Arnold to the Georgia 43. Play clock down to 3. Damari Alston straight ahead for the first down. Yes, among other things. Very fine Ivy League institution. Jackson Arnold, there's flags down. Jackson Arnold has some room down the sideline. Pursued across the boundary by Justin Williams. There was a flag thrown by the umpire.
I'll get someone on that offensive line based on where they threw that flag.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty from previous spot. Repeat second down.
Jackson Arnold's completed his last 6 passes. 3rd down and 14. He pulls it down and runs. Jackson Arnold still on his feet inside the 5-yard line. A 27-yard gain. It takes us to the 2-minute stoppage.
Perfect call. 5 guys in the box for the Georgia Bulldogs. They call quarterback draw on 3rd and long, and Jackson Arnold makes another big play here on the Plains.
Damari Alston, the running back. Will it be Arnold again? Yes, it will. Following Alston. And they're going to mark him down. Crowd thinks he scored, but he bounced to the goal line. That might be better off for Auburn if they can score on 3rd down. They'll take a little more time off the clock, and they're forcing Kirby Smart to use his last timeout.
Yeah, I think this is a blessing in disguise for Auburn, but that right knee is down. Does look like is the right knee down there. He does a pretty good job staying up. Elbow there.
His elbow's down, but is the ball breaking the plane? The crowd thinks so. They've seen the same replays you saw.
Does look, what a great shot down the line right there, and as that elbow hits, as the ball broke in the plane, it looks to me like it probably has. That was great effort there by Jackson Arnold.
Used his last time out.
The ruling on the field is upheld. It'll be second down.
It'll be 3rd down. Kirby Smart saying it's 3rd down, and he's right. Ken Williamson will change that. It's 3rd down. They're 8 out of 10 on 3rd down. Jackson Arnold. Crowd thinks he got in. The officials are trying to sort it out. Meanwhile, the ball is out. There's a Georgia player running in the opposite direction all the way down. That's Kyron Jones. Kirby saying there's the ball. We have a touchdown. Meanwhile, Hugh Freeze thinks his team scored. And a couple of the offensive players on the field are signaling that. And the indication is it's a fumble and it's Georgia's ball. Let's look. They line up like the Philadelphia Eagles. The ball does come out. C.J. Allen punched it out. The question was, did he break the plane? Hard to tell with all those bodies in there.
So hard to tell exactly what's going on. Where's the ball as he crosses the plane? And like you said, Sean, it was called a fumble on the field. He also is never down, obviously, as he's up on top of a defender. Let's see.
This will be the best view. Well, I think if you linked it up, right, the ball, unless he has the ball lower than his hip, I mean, the top of his body is comfortably across the goal line from the view down the line. Well, this has taken a very long time. Ken Williamson with the headset off.
After further review, the runner lost control of the ball prior to reaching the plane of the goal line.
Oh, boy. I have no idea what they were looking at. I mean, all three of us thought that shot down the line where you can see the ball, especially when you sync it up from the other side where the top of his body, and he still has the ball. The hand bats it away. Then from the other replay that we saw right down the line, the ball's across the line when the hand makes contact with the ball to punch it up. Dogs need to make sure they get it out of the end zone. They go out of the gun. McCray bounces outside, delivers a stiff arm, has a first down, and goes out of bounds. Short set by Stockton. Good catch by Lawson Lucky. 7-yard gain for Mike Bobo's offense. He's had plenty of time to think about these play calls. More than 3-1 edge in time of possession for Auburn. Stockton flush, but their whistles first.
Going in the field, the runner achieved the first down. Previous plays under review.
My goodness. I'd like to go back to the play at the goal line again. That was ruled a fumble, and that call was upheld. My question now would be, Matt, if this is a fumble and the ball comes squirting out, I guess they're saying the whistle blew because the officials don't see the ball, but Kyron Jones never seems to go down.
Well, I'm assuming that is the case. I didn't hear a whistle blow, but it is awful loud in there. But it's like when a fumble is called in the game. If you call him down, but it's a fumble, and they overrule it, you get the fumble, but you don't get the advance.
It was called a fumble on the field, upheld on replay. I would say this from the beginning of the game. Kevin Holmes in the replay booth does take plenty of time to hand down these judgments.
A moment ago, they decided to stop to look at that previous play and whether or not Lucky did secure it for the first down.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The first down, Georgia, the 32-yard line. This is 1 minute, 10 seconds on the game clock.
A moment like that's a pretty big advantage, too, for the offense. You can kind of recollect. You can call two plays. You can remind them what the goal is, what the line to gain is, where you got to get to give your field goal kicker a chance.
Here's an Auburn blitz. Stockton runs away from it, throws to the sideline, caught. Colby Young. A 10-yard completion and a first down. Now they're thinking at the very least about getting into field goal range after that 11-yard gain. Stockton took a hard hit as he got it off.
He got destroyed. One of the Auburn defenders in pursuit. That was a great job by Stockton getting it out. But look at this big collision right there by Can Lee.
Zachariah Branch was the motion man.
They might stop it.
No, I think they're going to see if it was a catch by Young. You heard the crowd groan. They showed a replay of the previous catch on the board. That's why the crowd groaned. They didn't think it was in bounds.
Going on the field with a first down, inbounds. The previous plays under review.
My goodness. But they almost snapped it again. Hugh Freeze told us after the Oklahoma game he had several conversations with the conference office. Now Kirby is asking for a targeting call.
And I think they could take a look at it too, because in that situation Gunnar Stockton is a defenseless player. So when you're defenseless, any type of launch and forcible contact to the head or neck area, that could potentially be called. But it looks to me like it's kind of in the midsection as Gunnar Stockton is airborne.
The other question on the play is, was Colby Young in bounds?
After review, number 4 of the defense hit a protected player above the shoulders with his helmet. Therefore, targeting has been created as a foul. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run.
Wow, how this has turned. They thought they had a 3-score lead. They lost the ball on their first time they did not score all season in the red zone. And now Lee, with 1:03 to go, one of their best defensive players, a starting cornerback, is out.
And massive too with the 15 yards to get Georgia even closer to field goal range. So this has been a disastrous finish to the half for the Auburn Tigers.
Cash Jones, the running back. Woodring, their kicker, has a big leg. Stockton throws behind. Lawson Lucky, who was open at the 20-yard line. His career long is 55. This season it's 48. 55 is indoors in Atlanta. And Stockton forced to throw it away. There's going to be a late hit. Now Morris Williams took Stockton to the ground after the throw.
Does look like, as Williams is chasing him down, does kind of thrust him down to the ground, and that's what results in the foul. You can let him go right there, the ball's out, but because of that late push, the officials all over it. It's probably the correct call.
They're at the 27-yard line. 7 more penalties for Auburn tonight. Stockton throws incomplete through the hands of Lawson Lucky. Team high 4 sacks. Didn't play football till his senior year in high school. Blitz off the edge. They threw the ball out to that side of the field. Rayshawn Pleasant stopped it for a short gain for Branch. There's another flag down.
Looked like one of the Auburn players might have gotten a little bit of a head start, might have jumped in the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense from 17.
Well, Hugh Freeze has to be thinking, what did I do to deserve this? His team was dominating the game. Looked like they scored. He didn't like the call on the replay on the goal line that ruled it a fumble. And now here comes Georgia in scoring position. Did look like they were offside. Xavier Atkins. 8 Auburn penalties. They go to the quick pass again. Colby Young still on his feet. Stacked up. And stopped near the 5-yard line.
He's especially big there that Colby Young was able to get out of bounds. Obviously, Georgia without a timeout. Precious seconds could have ticked off. Now they can reload.
I think they're going to wind the clock now. That's why, yes, they are winding the clock. They had stopped this forward progress. They just moved the chains. Stockton throws it away in the direction of Colby Young.
That's the direction I'm looking. A little back shoulder fade.
Late substitute coming on for Auburn. Jared Smith came on. Crawford came off. The play clock is at 0. That was great coaching by the Auburn staff. They were entitled to the substitution because Georgia substituted. And Georgia didn't have a timeout. So the ball's back in the 11.
Now if you're Auburn, probably don't want to bring pressure here. I would drop 8. On rush 3, drop 8. Cover up all the zones. And make sure you don't allow something to get thrown over your head.
The 2-minute timeout was 32 minutes ago. Stockton has it batted down and incomplete. Bobby Jamison Travis batted it out of the air.
And that was a great job. They did. They only rushed 3. They dropped 8, covered up all the zones, and Jamison Travis gets a hand on it. Not for the leaping effort Atkins, he might have been able to secure the pick.
Now here's Peyton Woodring to get them on the board. From 29 yards. He's 4 for 4 this season. And that's a gimme for him. He's made 43 in a row now inside of 50 yards.
They got to be feeling pretty good on that Georgia sideline.
Kirby Smart fired up as he should be. They've been on their heels for most of the night. Woodring's kickoff will be a touchback. Georgia had been held scoreless in the first half only 5 times in 129 games prior to tonight on Kirby Smart. Looked like it was going to be 6. There's a flag down again.
This is what Georgia does, though. I mean, they just take your best shot. They take the biggest punch you can throw, and they've done it time and time again, and they never go away. They're about as resilient a team as you'll ever find.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Kicking team 25. Pass the distance to goal. First down.
Our truck was in communication with the replay booth, and they said it was a fumble at the goal line in their judgment before the plane was broken. Well, they said the kicking team, but now they're bringing the ball back to the 12-yard line. Hugh Freeze wants an explanation. These things seem to happen. Oh boy, he is hot, and I don't blame him. And we talked to him. He's 14 and 16 in his first 30 games. And as he said to us yesterday, when you're in this league, you're fighting for your job in every game. It seems like so often when coaches are in the situation he's in, these things happen to them, not for them. Here's Molly McGrath in just a moment. We'll get to Molly. She's still running to get the coach. So Auburn ran 44 plays to 23. They had the ball for 21:45 of the 30 minutes. Hugh Freeze letting Ken Williamson have it. And so are other staff members who need to be careful. I think he has a rally job to do with his team now in that locker room.
Well, the good news is you can always point to the positive. Hey, guys, we did this, we did this, we did this. We got everything we want, and our own little self-inflicted mistakes gave them 3 points and took away 7 from us. So everything's good. Stay on task. You'll be just fine.
At the half, 10-3 Auburn. Let's send you to the Ford halftime report with Kevin and Bugger. The right guard, Dontrell Glover, and the right tackle, Juan Gaston. Stockton's pass batted down. There's a flag down. Rayshawn Pleasant had the coverage on Noah Thomas.
Pass interference, defense number 14.
10 penalties assessed on them for 80 yards. Dwight Phillips Jr. is in at running back, a guy they think can make some explosive plays. Branch dropped for a 1-yard loss. Kensley Lador Faustin up from his safety spot. On 2nd and 11. They brought some pressure and didn't get there. And that pass is incomplete. Intended for Elias Williams, a true freshman corner. Caleb Harris had the coverage, and on the near sideline, the Auburn sideline, they thought Williams pushed off.
It didn't look like much. I'm glad that they didn't throw the flag on that one. Both guys were kind of hand fighting. It's kind of physical. You got a tug of the jersey, so a good no call there to set up 3rd and 11, where Auburn's been showing this pressure look and then dropping out. But the last couple times in the first half, they've actually brought the heat. Let's see if they drop out or bring it.
Cash Jones, the running back, on 3rd down and 11. They're hoping to run after the catch from Branch. They got some, but not enough to get the first down. They're about 5 yards short. 4th down and 5. And for the moment, Kirby Smart has the offense out there, and Mike Bobo's going to call a 4th down play.
He's trying to get him to jump off sides if he can.
And there was movement. Not a flag yet. Back shoulder throw broken up. Intended for Colby Young. Rayshawn Pleasant had the coverage. Kirby Smart asking, didn't they jump offside? But there's no flag.
And it looked like Keldrick Falk did jump just ever so slightly into the neutral zone. I thought that's why they snapped the ball. I don't think they were going to snap it if not for him kind of flinching. You see, as soon as he flinches, then he throws it back. And they get the free play, but the flag never came out. And that's a big break there for the Auburn Tigers.
So the Tigers take over with excellent field position. Jackson Arnold handed it off to Eric Singleton. He's in trouble and dropped for a loss by C.J. Allen.
Talked in the first half about how good this Georgia defensive coaching staff is at making adjustments. That play right there, the jet sweep to Singleton, hit them multiple times in the first half. Now they've adjusted to it.
Seems like C.J. Allen's been there a long time. Arnold. There's a flag down on the far side of the field. It was Allen again in on the tackle. C.J.'s been battling back from a hamstring injury.
Holding, defense number 6.
Dalen Everett called for the hold.
Yeah, I think a good call, too, as you see the receiver, it's Perry Thompson, trying to release, and Everett just grabs him with that left hand and drags him to the ground.
Over the middle, caught. Preston Howard fighting to get a first down. He did not get there. It's 3rd down and a yard. He got 7. They needed 8.
This is what Auburn's done really well tonight, is they've somehow found a way to go from 2nd and behind the sticks to 3rd and very manageable. This time a 3rd and 1. And their offensive line has been winning. So I'd anticipate some type of run up inside.
The crowd booing. You heard it in real time, and now you hear it again as they look at the replay. They thought there should have been a personal foul against Georgia here. as Kyron Jones came in at the end of the play.
Timeout. Auburn, first of the half.
Hugh Freeze called timeout. I think he's hoping that the replay booth might take a longer look at it. He's almost all the way out to the hash marks to yell at Ken Williamson, the referee. We're back at Auburn. Here's the last play right before the Hugh Freeze timeout.
Auburn fans are wanting a late hit here.
If anything was late, it was the whistle. You heard it there well after all the contact and the play had ended. It was not targeting. The replay booth didn't even look at it for that, and they shouldn't have. It was not targeting, and they can't call a late hit from the booth anyway. 3rd down and 1, they don't get it. And meanwhile, Hugh Freeze basically wasted a timeout, it seemed, to try to get a little more time and hope the replay booth would initiate targeting, but they didn't. So here's an enormous 4th down play.
With how Georgia's kind of played the run on these interior plays, this might be one of those spots where you can kind of flash one inside and buzz your receiver out in the flat or a tight end out in the flat.
Jeremiah Cobb is the running back. Singleton, the motion man. Low snap handled by Arnold. And the throw is high, and Preston Howard couldn't catch it. It was a good call. If they complete the pass, it's a 1st down. He's open. But he couldn't handle a high throw from just a few feet away. And Georgia takes over on downs. On 1st down, Gunnar Stockton on target. Colby Young rumbles down to the Auburn 42-yard line. 21 yards on the play. Stockton running out of time. Flags are down. He almost threw an interception. Broken up along the near sideline by Robert Woodyard Jr., the middle linebacker. Georgia players pointing at the Auburn defenders. They believe this is going to be a foul against the Tigers.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Holding, number 17 is declined. Holding, number 13 is accepted. 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Xavier Atkins, Rayon Strader, the guilty parties.
And you're going to see the double move here. They try to go with a little stop and go, a little whirly bird. As soon as he rips right around it, it's Strader that grabs the jersey. It's the correct call.
That's 11 penalties on Auburn. They're the first SEC team to commit 10 penalties or more in 3 straight games since Florida in 2018. It's been a problem. Stockton back shoulder throw, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Lawson Lucky. Gunnar Stockton lots of time, man, breaking open, caught inside the 2-yard line. Noah Thomas. And they go quickly. It's a 30-yard gain, just the 4th catch of the year for Thomas. The other 3 were all against Austin Peay. Chauncey Bowens to the goal line. Touchdown, Georgia. Touchdown of the season for Chauncey Bowens, redshirt freshman from Port St. Lucie, Florida. The game turned late in the 1st half, and Georgia still has momentum on its side. Noah Thomas got them down near the goal line, and Bowens punched it in. 5 plays, 63 yards, 10-10, middle of the third.
I think that's a safe bet.
Here comes a Georgia blitz up the middle, and Arnold goes down in the arms of C.J. Allen. First sack for the Georgia defense.
And this is really well done, well timed. He just hits it immediately, and watch number 77, Jeremiah Wright, just can't close fast enough. He drifts outside just ever so slightly with that inside-out rush, which means he gives up the hole right between him and the center, Connor Lew. That's the A-gap. You got to protect inside out.
On 4th and 12, Hudson Cock punts. And a fair catch made by Zachariah Branch at the 40-yard line. Just a 37-yard punt. Definitely making progress under Mike Vrabel. On first down for Georgia. Stockton throws. Juggling catch made by Oscar Delp. But he hung on to it for a first down to the Auburn 46.
Great catch there by Delp. Ball thrown way behind him. He somehow flips his hips and is able to reel it in.
Stockton flush, takes off running, and runs out of bounds. Lawson Lucky running a little interference in front of him. Chris Murray was the nearest defender for Auburn, backup defensive end for DJ Durkin. He's a true freshman. They've just been injured. Right on cue, they blow right through that offensive line. Elijah Melendez is a true freshman from Kissimmee, Florida. And he dropped that play for a 4-yard loss.
This is a nice pursuit. He's coming from the backside, and he just hits it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. No one really sees him. All the offensive linemen are working to the right, and he comes off the backside and drags it for a loss to set up 3rd and medium.
Cam Newton, who had his number retired at the half, trying to fire up the crowd. They don't need the help. Georgia's 0 for 5 on 3rd down. 4-man rush. Stockton got a hit as he threw it. Cash Jones runs after the catch. He got belted along the sideline. Looks to be short of the first down by about a yard.
4th down.
It is 4th down. There may be less than a yard.
On short yardage situations, Georgia's been very good for the most part in Kirby Smart's tenure, so opting to be aggressive here. I agree with the decision. They have been willing in the past to go play action. Auburn is a heavy man team, so I wouldn't recommend that here. I think you run it up inside.
They came into tonight 5 out of 7 on 4th down. 3 of those plays went for touchdowns. Frazier juggled the pitch, but controlled it and got the first down. They needed less than a yard. They got 4.
And that's a good call there by Mike Bobo. Anticipating pressure, anticipating man. What can you do? Speed option up the end man of the line of scrimmage. If pitch was a little bit better, might have been more yards there for Frazier.
Georgia in field goal range now, poised to take the lead for the first time tonight. Under 3 minutes to go. Here's a reverse and a pass by Dylan Bell, and it's over the head of Branch, who was open on the sideline. Good call. It was there for Mike Bobo, but they didn't execute.
Man, it was a beautiful call. I mean, they have the misdirection, full flow from Auburn, everything's there. Branch is wide open. And Dylan Bell puts his hands on his helmet immediately, knowing he missed a huge opportunity.
Big miss. They had it right there. On 2nd and 10. Bowen stumbled ahead for a couple. Bobby Jamison Travis tripped him up.
All right, right here on the fringe of field goal range. Automatically thinking, here comes the heat. Here comes the pressure. Auburn has shown that walk-up all throughout the night, where they have 7 guys walked up to the line of scrimmage. They play flat top, cover 0. This is where you're anticipating the blitz because you think the defense is trying to knock you out of field goal range. So if you're Stockton, get the ball out quick and know that pressure's coming.
Bowen comes the running back. It's a screen, and Dope gets dropped by Xavier Adkins. Loss of 5. They're still in field goal range, but that's going to make it about a 52-yard try. Woodring, with his make at the end of the half, has made 43 of his last 46 field goals, but the 3 misses have all been from 50-plus.
And just a great job here by Atkins. He recognizes it. Georgia dials up a screen, anticipating that pressure. Against pressure, man, screens are great. But that time they drop out and they make the play.
53-yard try to give them the lead. Not much of a breeze. What little there is at his back. He doesn't need the help. That one is good. Boy, they are outstanding in the kicking game, with Thorson the punter and Woodring the place kicker. Now in his 3rd year as the field goal kicker out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Perfect snap, match laces, nails it right down the middle, and what a response. I feel like it's time and time again. Every single time you think things are going to get a little sideways for the Dogs, they find a way to punch their way back into the game and take the lead.
Kirby Smart's Bulldogs have outscored Auburn 13-0 since the Auburn fumble at the goal line late in the first half when it looked like they were about to go up 17-0. It's been all Georgia. The Dogs had a spy on Arnold. The throw is incomplete, intended for Perry Thompson.
That ball just came out of Jackson Arnold's hands really strange. I'm not really sure what happened. I thought maybe he got hit or something, but it came out of the bottom of his hands. He just threw a sinker. And watch this ball as he's getting ready to release it. There's edge presence on the right, but it just doesn't come out clean. It's way behind the intended receiver, and it's a big miss.
They threw a slider. And now Cock with a shank. They're still determining where they're going to spot the ball, but it was a terrible punt by the Australian Hudson Cock, who transferred from Oklahoma State. Just a 14-yard punt.
And this is where Georgia might go for the jugular at some point. You got to be aware they have great speed on the perimeter. They've been running the ball. They're very committed to running the football, but you now have P10 first play of the drive in plus territory. This might be the chance for them to go heavy play action, maybe take a shot downfield.
And send Colby Young widest to the left, with Lawson Lucky a tight end in the slot, now going in motion. Nate Frazier.
Number 3, Nate Frazier.
What'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Georgia outscored Auburn in the 3rd, 10-0. They take a 13-10 lead to the 4th, trying to win their 9th in a row against the Tigers. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
You got Zachariah Branch in the backfield. He's their go-to guy.
Stockton got it to him quickly, runs through the defense and has a first down. Chopped down by Jay Crawford at the 29-yard line. 13 yards on the catch and run, 18 of it.
Get one of those tight ends out there.
With a blitz coming, single coverage and an incomplete pass. Intended for Noah Thomas. Rayshon Pleasant had the coverage. 3rd down and 9. They're 1 for 8 on 3rd down. They just converted a moment ago. Stockton jumping up and down. He wants the snap. Timeout called by Georgia. Kirby Smart's trying to say, I didn't want the timeout.
I've never seen that before.
Well, you know, can they let him get away with this? Because the play clock was at 1 when they stopped it.
Timeout. We'll reset the ball and run the play. No charge timeout.
No, he's signaling for a timeout. He's signaling for a timeout. The official stopped the play. There's 1 second on the play clock, so they're going to give him a redo and not charge him the timeout?
I mean, you can see him signaling the timeout. I don't understand. I mean, and I'm sure Hugh Freeze very frustrated by it.
They're showing the replay now on the screen, and that's what Hugh Freeze is pointing to. He's trying to say he was clapping. I'm sorry.
It looks pretty clear to me. I mean, running.
Well, if he's clapping there, he's clapping differently than he was when he was obviously clapping.
That's not going to make a very loud clap if you try to just put your fingers into the palm of your hand. I'm not sure it's going to pierce the noise. Might have gotten away with on there.
Hugh Freeze apoplectic. I mean, he has to be thinking what else is going to happen. Hands on the top of his head.
Defense should be thinking.
That's rescued them from either using a timeout or a delay of game penalty. Stockton takes off running, throws, caught. Kobe Young inside the 10 and down inside the 5-yard line. There's a flag down back on the near numbers at the 23. It's a 27-yard gain if it stands. It's Diaz.
Personal foul, blindside block on the offense.
You'll see Cash Jones right here as he's getting ready to track number 32. He's tracking Diaz right there, and that's where he delivers the hit. That's what results in the foul.
And takes him back. He is wobbly as they help him along the bench area. It takes them back to the 38-yard line. From here, it would be just about matching the career high of Woodring. Well, based on that last field goal he made, he had plenty of leg to do it. They have to get to the 19 for a first down. 4-man rush. Stockton runs through it. Got to the 26, still 7 yards shy of the first down. Elijah Melendez, the freshman, made another tackle.
What a massive, massive turn there for the Auburn Tigers, because they have the ball at the 1-yard line, if not for the mistake made there by Cash Jones and unnecessarily behind the play going and hitting Diaz. And now all of a sudden you're settling for 3 when you're probably punching it in for a 10-point lead.
Where's Woodring? As we mentioned earlier, just about automatic inside 50. This would be 45 to give them a 6-point lead with under 12 minutes to go. Bo Gardner, an excellent snapper. Gunnar Stockton's the holder. And that one is no good.
Big key, I think, for Auburn in this drive. They got to get the run game going again. Early in this game, they had everything they want on the perimeter and up inside. They haven't been able to do much in the second half.
Arnold down the middle, man open! And they cannot complete the pass. Eric Singleton went into a dive. Hugh Freeze was ruining those missed opportunities on similar plays against Oklahoma when they have a receiver open deep and Arnold can't quite put it on target.
And just a brutal one, too, because Arnold's been pretty good on the downfields tonight. He's underthrown those balls to give his receiver a chance. The first time tonight, he overthrows Singleton, who makes a terrific effort at it, but couldn't reel it in.
Third down and 7. He got away from Quintavious Johnson. He did not get away from Gabe Harris Jr. And Arnold's down at the 31, well short of the first down. With the lack of scoring by the offense when the defense is playing well enough to win every week. He said that has not been the case. Stockton throws. That's tipped. He was trying to get it to Oscar Delp, and Xavier Atkins got a hand on it. Boy, he's been impressive all season long. Stockton throws, caught. London Humphreys, his first catch of the night, and what a time to have it. Branch went in motion. Just a three-man rush, and they complete another pass on third down. Zachariah Branch for a 6-yard gain on 3rd and 4. Ava and Olivia, 2 of the 3 triplets with their brother Jake. Here's Zachariah Branch. Looked like he got the first down before he took the pop from Eric Winters. They converted 3 of their last 4. They are in a field goal range, but they want the first down, and they won't get it on that play. McCray swung down for a loss by Kieron Crawford. Back to the 39-yard line, almost to the 40. And now it's about 2.5 yards on 4th down. On 4th down, Stockton throws, caught! First down. They convert on 4th and 3. It's London Humphreys again at the right time. And what a drive this is now. 10 plays, over 5.5 minutes.
Well, look at how the defenders are watching Zachariah Branch. He's been the go-to guy all night long, so he's got 2 defenders that drag out with him. And as a result, Humphreys is right there in behind it. That's great job there by Stockton, seeing that they double one guy to leave another guy open.
Georgia leading Auburn 13-10. And in the midst of a drive of more than 7 minutes, after Auburn dominated the first half, Georgia has completely turned the tables in this half. On 3rd down and 1, Stockton throws. Nate Frazier the catch. Able to stay on his feet. There was more yardage there, but they just want the fresh set of downs. 1 timeout in the 2-minute stoppage. They cannot give Georgia another set of downs. Frazier, the running back, trying to bounce outside. Nate Frazier down to the 10. They need 2.5 for another first down. Freeze isn't going to use his last timeout here. He's going to let it roll to the 2-minute timeout. What a drive by Georgia. 8.5 minutes trying to put the game away.
2-minute timeout.
And win for the 9th straight year against their rivals in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Two minutes to go. Georgia leading 13-10. They're on an 8.5-minute drive. 1 more first down should put it away. This will be the 16th play of the drive. It's 3rd down and a short 3. Stockton's going to run for the first down. Lunges for the pylon. Touchdown, Georgia.
What a response by Gunnar Stockton and the Georgia Bulldogs. Nothing going their way until that fumble was forced at the goal line. And the response with 20 unanswered points and just a gutsy 8-minute and 45-second drive that went 78 yards and 16 plays for the game winner.
Peyton Woodring adds the extra point. Gunnar Stockton, his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And what a drive. Sure. They've won 69 straight games of the Georgia Bulldogs when leading into the 4th quarter. I wonder if Kirby Smart is saying, hey, you'd be better off going down. I mean, the only way you can lose the game is if you give them the ball back. He could have gone down with the first down, and they could have really run out the clock.
And just complete flow all the way to the left-hand side. They were sticky in coverage, and if he just takes a knee right there, goes into a baseball slide, you got a chance to take more time off the clock and completely exasperate any opportunity for Auburn to come back in the game. So a teachable moment there for his young quarterback.
10 tackles and a big forced fumble at the goal line. Arnold almost got sacked. Takes it down and runs out of bounds. Looks like they're going to give him the 35 and a first down. Chased out by C.J. Allen again. Arnold 17 out of 25 for 123. He's rushed for 56. And a touchdown. And he almost threw his first interception in 12 games. diving attempt by Dalen Everett, but he couldn't hang on. First down run a moment ago, just the second first down for Auburn in this half. And he's totally on the wrong page as far as Cam Coleman is concerned. And this crowd that was on fire for most of the first half, those who remain in disbelief at how dramatically this turned.
I don't think I've ever seen a game flip like this, to this extent. Just complete control the first 29 minutes of this ball game, but the last 31 have been all dogs for Kirby Smart.
They go for their last 4 on third down. They brought extra rushers. Coleman, the catch. He's out of bounds short of the first down. Tackled by Everett. Well, this is a rivalry. In 130th meeting, there have been many controversial games, colorful games. But the play at the goal line, fumble, no fumble, will be debated for a long time. Cobb carries for a first down on 4th and 2.
Need to pick up the pace, though, if they're going to go and try to get this 2-possession game into the balance again.
Safety's very deep for George, as you might expect, and the pass for Cobb is low. He couldn't handle it. There comes pressure after Arnold. Hit as he throws. Got it off. Incomplete. Diving attempt made by Perry Thompson. Quick pass. Caught by Preston Howard. He's short of the first down. The clock's going to run under a minute to go. Justin Williams made the tackle. Last call for Auburn. They don't convert this 4th and 5. It's over. And it's Arnold trying to do it on a quarterback draw, it seemed, and he's stopped for a loss by Kristen Miller. Well, it's one program that in 10 years under Kirby Smart has demonstrated it finds ways to win over and over again. And as Hugh Freeze said to us yesterday, this Auburn team the last couple of weeks and now again tonight has been finding ways to lose.
It's got to be just so demoralizing for Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold, because it was all going their way. Everything was going exactly according to plan. They were running it. They were throwing it. Everyone was involved. The defense was relentless. And then one pivotal mistake sent them off the rails. They could never quite get back on track. That's just gut-wrenching if you're an Auburn fan. But, man, how about the resilience from the Georgia Bulldogs again?
Yeah, Connor Stockton run. I mean, if he had just gone down instead of scoring the touchdown, they could have run out the clock. But as some of our colleagues have said over the years, that touchdown made many people happy.
A lot of people celebrating that one as he crossed the plane.
And Kirby Smart, 110 wins in 10 seasons. Only George Woodruff of Penn back in the late 1800s and early 1900s had more. He is one of the great coaches of all time, certainly on his way to the College Football Hall of Fame. But his coaching days are over, but he has a lot of coaching still to do. He's not even 50 years old yet. Didn't look like it was going to be win number 110 for Kirby for almost the entirety of the first half. And they got the takeaway at the goal line, and they completely took over the game thereafter. And they beat Auburn for the 9th straight year, tying the longest winning streak in the very long history of this series back to 1892. So they get another road win. This is their second road game, and they have big wins at Tennessee and at Auburn. And now they have a huge showdown between the hedges next Saturday night on ABC against Ole Miss. Undefeated Ole Miss. Final score, Georgia 20 and Auburn 10. And for as well as the game started for Auburn, just 10 points on the board at the end of the night. That's 3 in a row in conference with fewer than 20 points. They go to 0-3 in the league. Final score, Georgia 20, Auburn 10. For Molly McGrath, Greg McElroy, our great crew led by Brian Ryder and Jeff Evers, Sean McDonough. Good night from Auburn.